Come on, dude. 10 minutes, the movie's starting. We're gonna be late.
Power levels at full capacity, sir.
Oh, sound effects. Nice. I should have thought of that.
Hey man, sorry it took forever there getting these card keys straightened out. What are you doing? I mean, really? It's ridiculous. Whose wallet is this? Did you even see this? Dude, we're not in the right room.
Who the hell are you guys?
Hold on, man. I was just seeing who it was. I'm sorry. You're burning! No! Like fire! Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stuff of Legend. I'm Ben Crowley.
How'd you get out of the ground?
It took a little bit, but I managed.
It was Batman. That guy's a traitor. I'm Kevin Dunahee.
And today we are going to review Iron Man 3. But before we get to that, we are lucky enough to have Anthony Lee with us, a real-life Iron Man who's kind of designed his own suit there, as you saw in the intro.
Yeah, I remember seeing his first videos for Comic-Con years ago, so it was a real privilege to sit down and talk with him.
And here's what Anthony had to say. Anthony Lee, some of you might know, makes some amazing looking Iron Man costumes. What got you started with those?
I'm Asian. No, I'm just kidding. I've just been an artist for all my life, and since I was little, I always loved taking things apart and just building things. And I've been a fan of Marvel and DC. You know, I'm not hating on either or, but Iron Man is one of my favorite characters, and how I kind of took it seriously when the first Iron Man came out, and I was like, I only have a week before it comes out, so hey, why not? I make costumes. That's how I pretty much got started, and I just kept running with it because I kept getting noticed with things. And
so how many different outfits do you have now?
I lost count. I built so many things. It goes beyond Iron Man, and it goes like anime or just regular cartoons and stuff like that. And you know, if people want me to make things, I can make whatever they want, whatever they dream up of.
I remember, it must have been a year, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know if that was your first convention or what, but I saw your video on YouTube, and you know, of course, the helmet's going up and down. Mm-hmm. You've got the palm blasters. I was blown away at the moment, but I never would have in a million years thought that we'd be running into each other filming a skit like that.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah. I've been doing it for so long now. Like since the first Iron Man came out, people always look around and try to find the best Iron Man cosplayer, but they always come to me. I'm not trying to start talking or anything, but you know, I love what I do. I build everything from scratch. I don't use any kind of weird programs that tell me to glue this or whatever. I just look at it and I make it.
You were telling me a little bit, you know, after each costume you try to do one more advancement.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, each suit that I make, if you could see my portfolio, which is online, is masterly.org, you can see from where I kind of began, my humble beginning, from like, you know, I probably use like poster board, cardboard, and stuff like that. Everybody's, you know, run with different materials.
Cardboard. Who makes an Iron Man out of
Me,
cardboard?
man.
Cardboard.
I start from somewhere, you know. That's why I tell people, like, when newbies come to me and ask me, like, hey, can you give me some tips, like, how to start an Iron Man suit? It's like, well, you can go to Home Depot or whichever hardware store that's near you and choose whatever materials you like. And if it works for you, run with it. You know, the biggest people who talk smack are haters, you know, are the people who are hating because you can do what you do and don't give a about what you do, you know. Just do what you love and don't listen to anybody else unless they're positive people. Because if you listen to the haters, you'll never go anywhere. because there's even even people who are negative to me, I just kept doing what I love, and you get noticed from either like Jon Favreau or director of Iron Man, or just regular people. You know, it never get to my head about like people noticing that. I just do it, just show up and have fun.
Notice you've obviously been through several iterations of the suit, and with this one you have a lot of flexibility. Has that always been the case?
For each suit that I make, I like to kind of test fit each suit. Like say, my first suit, which is the Mark III, which is made from a poster board. And every time I go in and wear it and test it into like say somebody hired me to do a job, I always take notes in my mind saying, okay, this needs to be upgraded, this needs to be made better, and make sure just to test fit to see if it breaks or
Sure.
you know. So like when I go somewhere, I want to sit, and then before my suits, I couldn't sit for anything. I'm like,
It's kind of like
Now,
the Batman thing
I
with he
can
wants to
actually
turn his
select-
head from side to side.
yeah.
I imagine pretty early on you decided, hey, I'd like to go to the bathroom in this while I'm wearing it, so I'm going to make a little modification here or there.
Yeah, a lot of people ask how I go to the bathroom.
Little automated
What do you want to know,
trapdoor.
you perverts? Okay. Almost.
So I've got to ask, I haven't seen this yet, but that I wouldn't be surprised if you have this. Is Jarvis in the works?
If you guys see my YouTube videos and stuff, I actually incorporated Jarvis AI into my alarm system so that, you know, if somebody actually like get too close, they'll kind of get complaining. I'm like,
That's
you're
awesome.
not authorized to this vehicle. Please step
That's
back.
awesome.
Please step back. You are not authorized to this vehicle.
You also mentioned going to children's hospitals, kind of helping out that way. Kind of, how'd you get started in that?
When I was little, when I was sick, I had asthma and everything, and I remembered when I was little, I had the superhero come in. When I was like my lowest point, when I was like, I thought I was gonna die since I was little, and
Wow.
hospitalized and everything. And this superhero, I think it was Spider-Man that came in, and I was like, that's freaking cool. You know, and that left a print on my life, and that brought memories back up for me. So like, you know, I'm doing something like this.
Paying it forward.
Why not? I can't like spread it out and give it back to the community. You know, like
Man, that's-
cheer up kids. Because when I did back in Iron Man 2, I visited the children's hospital in California. It was Randy's Children's Hospital. And man, those kids had a blast. I thought they knew who Iron Man was because it's still kind of new.
Right.
And they were screaming off the top of their lungs, Iron Man! And running over there.
Well,
I was
that's what we did when we got here, so I can see that.
Right.
So yeah, I held another charity raffle, which was raffling off an Iron Patriot helmet for Iron Man 3, which isn't out yet, and all of it sold out. So I need to get the okay back so I can go visit the children's hospital, either in my Mark 42 or my Iron Patriot. So that went really well, and a lot of people was glad to donate to charity, even though they could win the Iron Man helmet that I have that I can sign and give to them for the winners.
Okay, we were kind of discussing on the way here. Having seen the Avengers, this is going to be the first movie that has to address the problem of like, okay, well I'm fighting this alone. Wish my buddy Thor was here to help or stuff like that. What do you think they're going to do there?
Well, it's kind of in the Marvel universe, like everyone, like, yeah, why can't he call the Avengers?
Sure.
But, you know, every character has their own storyline and plot, you know, so that it can tie them back into the Avengers.
Right.
You know, like Thor will have his own storyline, Captain America will have his own storyline. Like, everybody has their own issues.
Sure.
So, you know, it just shows them as a hero that they have to stand and fight for their, like, you know, for their life in the story that goes along with it. And, you know, I just want to watch all of them, you know, just have like
Right,
a
right.
party and freaking.
Put them back to back to
Yeah.
back to back. Once again, we thank Anthony for being on the show. If you want to check out more Iron Man videos and Master Lee, check him out at his website, which is listed below. And
Yeah, we're going to talk about Iron Man 3. Usually, you and I will always have this discussion immediately after we've seen the movie.
Right.
We have refrained from doing that this time. I've heard a lot of good ideas. I'm really excited to hear what you had to say, and it feels good. It just feels right.
feels, yeah, I got a good vibe. Got a good vibe going here.
Okay, so Iron Man 3, what did we think?
I really liked Iron Man 3. It was a lot different from the other. You spent a lot of time outside the suit.
Right.
Kind of flows into that Avengers, you know. Without the suit, what are you?
Sure.
Captain America's just kind of giving him crap, and we found out without the suit. What is he?
Yeah, I mean, I really did love it. I thought it was the best of the Iron Man franchise. And I mean, it even held up following Avengers, which I really did not expect.
Yeah, it flowed real nicely from that. I thought, I was going to hate it if they just left it alone.
Sure,
If
yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't have any mention of Avengers or mention of,
That would've
that he
pissed-
was in New York, went through this portal hole, and now nothing. And
Yeah.
along with that, I think it kind of shows that Iron Man is, it showed superheroes are human.
Sure.
He's kind of struggling with that anxiety attack from the New York and going through
Yeah,
the portal
yeah.
hole.
I love that. He's a real guy in a surreal, a supernatural world, which I really wish the Batman franchise went with the last one with Ra's al Ghul. Still bitter, but I thought they did it well. They did acknowledge that Thor and Hulk, I believe, were the two mentioned in there, and then the villain, which were aliens. They did mention that they existed, though they never did address, like, hey, I'm getting my butt kicked. Where's my buddy Hulk?
Well, I mean, they're kind of all doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Besides kind of...
I would have liked to know what that was. Like, Sam Jackson always seemed to have, like the location of all his guys. So I thought,
Right.
like, everybody's predicting Iron Man is, or like the word's going around that he's dead, right?
Right.
So nobody checks in on him. Like, I don't know. That
No.
felt strange.
I mean, he checked in with the Hulk at the end of the movie, telling him his
Well,
whole
yeah,
story. But
yeah, I guess he did. Spoilers.
So,
this is going to be heavy spoilers.
yeah,
You
heavy
might-
spoilers. You might
wanna
want to
bail.
that was just after credits. I didn't ruin anything for you. But just kind of, I feel like it touched well on that.
Yeah, definitely.
And kind of basing off of Thor, I think he kind of took a hint from Thor. You know how Thor always reached out. He calls his
Right.
hammer.
Yeah. That's.
And now he can reach out and calls his ever
That's
malfunctioning
clever.
armor. But
I-
I'm just
yeah.
kind of thinking, he looked at that. He's like, I want that.
Well, I didn't think of that.
Right.
That would have been a cool nod for them to put in there
Right.
had they said something. Yeah.
Right.
I was thinking about just how these movies all fit together, and say years down the road, I get the the Ultimate Avengers box set, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got all the Iron Mans, it's got the Hulk, it's got Thor's, and it's got the Avengers. There's going to have to be a very thorough document that tells me what order I have to watch these in, because so far there's nothing to indicate. Like, Captain America fits here with Thor, and then Avengers. Iron Man 2 are up here, and then there's the third one.
Well, you did live through it, so you should know.
Well, yeah, I will know, but I mean, like, say my
Anybody
kids
in the
want to watch
future
that.
would. Yeah. Well, you tell your kids. Captain America
I
came
don't-
first, and then we came with Thor.
If I remember by then.
You'll remember. You love the movies, don't lie.
Okay, so this one was not directed by Jon Favreau. This was directed by Shane Black. Now, you had an interesting point about Christmas you wanted to talk about.
I did. I didn't even, first off, I didn't even pay attention that Shane Black was directing this movie and not Jon Favreau.
Okay.
It opens up and he starts doing this little jam to Christmas music.
Okay.
And
yeah.
throughout the whole movie, we're focusing on Christmas. I'm thinking, did this movie push up its release date? Because why are we sitting here in spring and summer and focusing on Christmas and oneness and coming together and all this other stuff, and why Christmas? So I looked up Shane Black. Shane Black likes to put Christmas in his movies.
Oh, is he known for that?
He did Lethal Weapon along with a couple others that take
Okay.
place during Christmas.
Okay.
And he kind of puts them together with a Christmas story as well.
That's his shtick, huh?
So found an article, I believe, on slate.com, and I'll put a link down at the bottom if you want to check that out, and give credit to, I believe his name is Forrest Wickman. He wrote an article about this whole thing, about it was kind of like a Christmas Carol. And where it
Okay.
is, he's dealing with his ghost of Christmas past, which is the little boy,
Oh,
and
no.
his girlfriend are kind of both collectively ghost of Christmas past. Ghost of...
So they suspect this was intentional?
Yeah. And something
Strange.
like, is Future the jolly old man? in the
Oh,
Carol? I don't know.
I
But
don't
anyway, he would be Trevor, the Mandarin.
Oh, jeez.
And he kind of, I forget what president, but anyway, check out that article. Kind of helps explain why Christmas is in the movie. Drove me nuts watching the whole movie, why it's Christmas, and
I didn't think anything of it because, I mean, that matters for us this release month, years down the road when you're watching that. I mean,
Right.
it's
I'm gonna watch it during Christmas.
you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. It's a Christmas Carol.
It is.
Okay, so you brought up the Mandarin. What did you think about the Mandarin?
I liked how it ended up being someone else.
Okay.
How this guy who is supposed to Death to America is very just, out there. He's a drug addict.
Right.
He's just an actor who's playing a part. And it's not your stereotypical anymore. And it goes back to being the guy behind the scenes who now wants to own the war.
Yeah.
Basically, play both sides.
I agree completely. I thought it was going to get real political, and I was kind of like rolling my eyes when it went there again. I was just kind of dreading that, and then pleasantly surprised, that wasn't at all what we suspected. Having all my eggs in the DC basket, I don't know much about the Marvel villains, so
Right.
I'm understanding that this is not what the Mandarin is like, and so I think if I was a hardcore fan of Iron Man and his foes, I think I would be pretty pissed off about this.
I'm not as upset about that as I was with Green Lantern, but I liked the Extremis storyline, the AIM, which
Yeah, it was really cool.
what? Advanced Ideas Mechanics, I believe?
I'm not sure.
Advanced Ideas Mechanics, I'm almost certain. But
Okay, so what did you think about these fiery regenerative villains?
I thought it was inconsistent.
It was very much so.
How do you kill one? You can
Yes!
you can shoot one several times in the chest, and that doesn't kill him. But somehow, when he fired the one straight
Exactly.
into the guy's chest, left him for dead. He might regenerate, he might not. He just said, "Wake up from this," but
Yeah,
you're
he was so confident that was the killing blow.
You're supposed to assume that killed him. That guy could be in the water somewhere.
He had dealt with that guy before and seen that a headshot didn't kill, so where did he get the idea that a heart shot or a chest shot would kill?
Right.
He
Not
was
to mention he puts Killian in that suit, which explodes around him. But
Yeah,
Killian
he's-
comes walking back, and then we're supposed to expect that Killian's dead from kicking a missile at him and blowing that
Yeah,
up.
there was
Now
no
he's all of a sudden gone.
rhyme or reason, and that kind of leads me to another thing that kind of irked me a little bit. Again, I love the movie. It sounds like I'm kind of being harsh on it now, but something that I'm referring to as cool shit. It bothers me. Okay, so
Cool shit.
in Dark Knight Rises, everybody is treading across the ice, and it's basically march to your death. You can sink through the ice and die. Nobody can get across this, right?
Right.
300-pound Batman comes treading along, boom, 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 boom. I'm somehow the only one that's able to walk across the ice. They did that just because it was cool. He blew up the symbol on the building just because it was cool.
Okay.
Why
Now what are you
did
getting at the Tony then?
at the end of the movie, the last 5 minutes, like these creepy little fiery regenerative monsters are all over the place, right? And they can kill Iron Man. They can dispower his suit, like shut him down.
Right.
He's fighting millions of them. He doesn't know how many there are. He just detonates his suits in the sky. All his weapons just
That was a symbol of love for Pepper.
okay. And
He's got to have one somewhere. Iron Patriot's still out
I
there.
know, yeah, and Patriot proved to be worthless a time or two, so
Oh, yeah, let's get into that a little bit. That bugged me a lot. Are these suits built user-friendly?
oh yeah.
We put it on Pepper. At least she didn't really know how to use it. When she gets out, she like kind of turns the
Yeah.
hand and it like seemingly catches her off guard, pushing her outside. But the president gets in it. One of the extremist guys gets in it and automatically knows how to fly.
I was under the impression that when the president got in it, he was kind of just like at its mercy. I think the extremist dude was controlling it at that point, but they weren't clear. Again, yeah.
Well, when he gets saved, I mean, granted he only walks a few feet.
sure,
But,
yeah.
what's his name? Who's John Cheadle?
Oh boy. Oh,
Anyway,
boy.
he says, I'm going to need the suit, Mr. President, but he's like turning around, walking in it. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then another thing that bugged me with that suit, he's got how many missiles in there? How many little toys? And I mean, this is War Machine still. And when he's in that sweatshop or whatnot, they grab him by the hand and heats up that one hand. During that grab, nothing could have popped. Like, he's got the little shoulder gun, he's got the little thing that pops out of here. He just sits there and is like, oh, my suit's gone, I'm done.
Yeah, we've got a superhero who fights with primarily ranged attacks, and it's an entirely melee villain. At no point does he fly up in the air and shoot them. He stays within melee range.
Right.
If they can jump high, just fly higher and then shoot them.
Oh, but he might be able to fly. He can breathe fire, which I don't know how he could do that. That might be something fans are upset with. How is he, like, he can control Extremis more than other
We
people?
really did love the movie.
I
It
do-
doesn't sound like that.
I really enjoyed this movie, but yes, how can he breathe fire and not explode like everybody else?
Okay,
Is that
so
him cooling down? I'd like to touch on the sound a little bit. The
Okay.
soundtrack. The
Sure.
music that's going on. In every Iron Man that we've had so far, granted it's a different director, we've had an AC/DC song in there.
Uh-oh.
And they missed a key moment. It was perfect. If you go back and do a DVD cut, I'd throw this in. Tip for you. He's having the anxiety attack outside of Tennessee.
Right,
getting
right.
outside his car.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the boy's like, "You're a mechanic, right? Right? So build something." Cue dirty deeds done dirt cheap. He's going through the store, picking up everything,
Okay.
and just, and he's rolling the little Christmas
I can
ornaments
see that,
to
I
blow
can see
up,
that.
and dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Okay, so we didn't have AC/DC. I guess it's a no watch. Don't watch this movie.
Well, they just missed the key moment. If you go back and watch that one point, cue the music so you're ready, and watch it then. It'll be perfect. Go see it. It's great.
It's a good movie. It sounded like we were harsh, but honestly, it was the best of the Iron Man. I
You gotta
loved
pick
it.
apart stuff we like.
All right, so we loved Iron Man 3. Go watch it right now. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll be reviewing Star Trek 2, and you can follow us on Twitter at SO Legend Podcast or on Facebook, facebook.com/SO Legend Podcast.
Stuff with legend. That's it for us. Live long and prosper.
Vulcan Nerf Pinch.
Today's episode was brought to you by Project Hero, an organization passionate about discovering, encouraging, and empowering the hero in us all. Check them out at projecthero.com.